Hello everyone, I'm Jim Collinson. I'm a user experience designer here at MadeSafe. We're building the Safe Network, a decentralized autonomous internet designed for freedom of expression, control of personal data, secure communications, and a whole new economy. This project has been an epic one, involving scaling some computer science mountains, but we've summited all the major peaks and we're in the process of bringing things back down the mountain and putting it in the hands of all of you. As part of that transition, we are releasing the Safe Network app. While you're downloading it, I'd like to tell you a bit about what it is, why we've made it, and what it will become over the next few months. It's not simply a helpful wee app, but it's the start of the build out of the Safe Network user experience as a whole. But let me explain. Designing the user experience of the Safe Network is about creating a flexible ecosystem that can be bent to the will of the people using it. And it's not just a thin layer of pretty over the top of a technology stack. It's about getting the core elements usable and yet out of the way enough to allow a whole range of as yet unimagined possibilities to be built on top. The user experience will eventually go places we can't even conceive of yet. Such are the possibilities of what this network is going to allow, like having control over all your personal digital life, and amazing new tools such as linked data that will fundamentally change the way we'll be interacting with the internet. But just stepping back for a minute and thinking about the long-term vision of the Safe Network. A serverless, autonomous, decentralized web, where everyone has their own private slice of this huge cloud, this giant cyber brain. Computers and devices in this case, they're just metal, they're just tools we use to log in, do our thing, log out, and that safe environment folds away, ready for the next user of the machine. Or, of course, ready for you to resume where you left off on any device you fancy. This is the ecosystem we are moving towards. So on the one hand, maybe we're just making some infrastructure that other people will use. It's a layer that other people's apps and experiences will leverage. But on the other extreme, we're working towards something that you could quite conceivably create an entire OS on top of. So this is where we are, building the core apps and interfaces to the network to allow for the flexibility of anything between these two extremes. And at the same time, we've got to address the reality of being able to make a useful, purposeful, but minimal product that can successfully gift an autonomous internet to humanity. So what we're creating right now is the Safe Network app. This is a transient application, and what I mean by that is it comes in and out of you as it's needed, supporting your use of the Safe Network across a multitude of apps and devices, but not an app to take all of your attention or for you to inhabit. Just enough to allow you to get what you need done, like logging in, setting some preferences, or approving the sharing of some data, and then you're back out and then you're on with the task at hand. So think of it like a start button to the Safe Network with access to just what you need and the controls you require at hand and no more. Building this infrastructure allows more modularity to the experience and an ecosystem that is built from a few core applications, but enabling the use of a multitude of other apps and features on top of that. For those of you that have dabbled with the Alpha 2 version of the Safe Network, you'll be familiar with having the authenticator built into the browser. But to create what we need for this new future, this modularity, we're pulling those two apart and we're creating the start of what you might think of as a mini OS within an OS, an ecosystem. So where do we start? It's important to say that we don't have a complete and usable network until each of the core apps is ready. We need things like browser, vaults, wallets, and data management tools to build this ecosystem. But how can we build from where we are now and iterate towards the complete system that is mature, proven software and ready for launch? But yet, how can we provide tangible benefits to you right now? Well, today we are shipping a small but important piece of that ecosystem, the Safe Network app. In its first version, Version 1, it'll be a small background app that will allow you to download, access, and update all the latest Safe apps, such as the new browser, or a crop of new test apps that you'll see popping up. It'll serve as a test bench for a range of features we'll begin to push out to it, which we can then test, evaluate, and build into the complete experience. It's part of the foundation of the overall user experience that will rapidly evolve and be built upon. So you'll see things like account creation, onboarding, authentication, payments, transactions, SafeIDs, and wallet features all appearing here in the coming months. Some of these will become baked into the Safe Network app itself, some will be standalone, and other elements will span multiple apps. But they will all serve the needs of the users. That's you guys, depending on the context, and built in line with our roadmap milestones. And on that note, we're focusing our efforts on building feature sets to support these use cases that spring out of each of our front-end milestones. So for example, we're currently building the features and tools that will support the perpetual web. So the perpetual web has a browser that lets you see the version history of each website, publishing tools that let you create one, a way of creating an account and get publishing under an identity of your choice. We're doing it this way so we can stay focused on user goals and needs across a range of apps and contexts that all work together. It's better to do it this way than packing features into discrete apps and hoping that they all function beside each other. And just so you know, the look and feel of these user interfaces will evolve as we progress. This top layer of polish and sparkle is important, but usability and utility always comes first, so that's where we spend our time. It's fun work, but the top layer of bling will come later when we're ready to wrap it around a solid, usable set of apps. So check the link in the description below and go and download the Safe Network app. It's available for Mac initially, and Windows and Linux will come shortly, and will expand to mobile platforms in future iterations. And of course, we welcome your thoughts and feedback and comments, either below or in the forum at safenetforum.org.